Hello again, I'm Dr. Cao. In this video, we are going to look at the orchestral reduction of Aaron Copland's Clarinet Concerto. Besides Mozart's and Weber's clarinet concerti, collaborative pianists will often encounter the Copland Concerto. It is a standard repertoire for clarinet players and is often performed for recitals, competitions, juries, auditions, and in many other circumstances. The concerto was written in 1947 for the famous American clarinetist Benny Goodman, who is also known as the King of Swing. Aaron Copland also partly composed this piece while he was visiting Rio, so there are obvious jazz and Latin American influences in this concerto. This concerto is orchestrated for chamber string orchestra, harp and piano without wind, brass, or percussion parts. Because of its unique orchestration, this introduces many challenges in this piano reduction. The piano reduction was arranged by Aaron Copland himself. He made this reduction simply for rehearsals with Benny Goodman. It was also successfully used for early performances, and the composer requested that Boosey and Hawkes publish it. There are three main concepts to think about when playing this reduction that I would like to talk about: differentiating articulations, redistributing parts between the hands, and revoicing chords. We will look at some examples of each. Even if you are not playing this concerto, these concepts can be applied to any piano reduction you play. The first example looks at differentiating articulations to get a more orchestral sound. In Major 121, after the long and athletic clarinet cadenza, the piano appears in the orchestration for the first time. At this entrance, it is quite easy for young pianists to fall into the pitfall of playing a bit vertical with the same kind of articulations and weight for each note. But if you listen to the recording or look at the full score, you will notice the harp playing offbeats against the piano. This leads to a vivid conversation between the strings and piano. With all this awareness of the orchestration, you can play with varying articulations to bring out the different instruments. Of course, there's more than one way to play or interpret this section, but expanding your awareness of the score and sound of the orchestra will help your ears to discover more possibilities for color and articulation. Let's move on to the next example: redistributing parts between the hands. Even though Copland arranged the piano reduction, for some reason, in the section at measure 323, he put the string pizzicato split between two lines of the piano. But the important secondary polyrhythmic theme occupies the top staff. In this situation, you will have to rearrange the score or redistribute parts between both hands to try and cover what you hear as the most important musical elements. So here I'm playing just the piano part as written. Here I'm playing all the parts, but am redistributing or rearranging where they lay in my hands, so it better aligns with the orchestration. You can also choose to play certain parts at specific moments. For example, including the polyrhythmic piano countermelody that appears in 327. All of these are compromises, none of them perfect. But the goal is to get as close to the sound of the orchestra as possible while maintaining a high level of performance. The last example looks at revoicing chords. Here are some pages from the sketch of the concerto from the Library of Congress. You can see the orchestral part is written in 3 staves to capture the open sonority of the orchestra. When translated to the piano, we unfortunately usually have to break or roll these large chords. However, in reality, an orchestra won't break or roll chords. In this situation, we should revoice the chords to play them as full as possible on the piano without breaking or rolling them. Here are 2 small spots in the reduction where you may consider revoicing the chords. The process of learning an orchestral reduction can be creative, artistic, and fun. As I mentioned before, there are several ways to perform a reduction. After playing a reduction several times, you will arrive at your own personal arrangement of the piece. I encourage you to fully take advantage of online recordings and to think beyond what you can do to make your playing 1 or 2 more steps closer to the sound of an orchestra. Your partner and audience will definitely hear the difference. I hope this is helpful. See you in the next video.